Welcome to the Voice of Reason Sports Podcast. Make sure you subscribe to the show, leave a comment, and click that like button. The NFL draft is over. How you feeling about your Cowboys?
Man, what can I say, Doc? It's not once again, just like I said last year when we finished the draft, I just wasn't impressed, man. It wasn't and a lot of people, a lot of other Cowboy fans are saying, "Oh, you just wanted to have a sexy draft. You ain't get no sexy players." Well, yeah, that's what you want. Those players bring that's how you get hope that your team's going to improve. Did you get these players? Did you say, "Oh yeah, I wanted him"?
Right.
And I gotta be honest, all these players, not one is any of them that I said, yeah, let's get that guy. You know, let's get that guy. We went line heavy, a lot of linemen and linebackers, uh, offensive line, defensive line. Yeah, it just wasn't. It wasn't the sexy
Well, maybe you
draft.
already maybe they're saying that they have the skilled players and you just need to beef up the line, right? Didn't y'all lose one your offensive tackle?
Yeah, we did. I'm not saying you couldn't get like linemen. We definitely needed some linemen. We lost Tyron Smith. You know, he's gone, but he was out a lot anyway. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like he was there for 15 out of 17 games, you know.
Mm-hmm.
He was out most of the year anyway, you know. And we were supposed to have got his replacement 2 years ago, you know. So he should be panning out by now. And they but the only thing was we got him at right tackle, and so we're gonna have to move him over to left tackle to make that happen. But like I said, man, overall, there's nobody. The draft for the Cowboys was just meh. It was very meh, very need filling. You know, you got need fillings in name. I mean, I don't really know how good these players are. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have any perspective, like I said, to say I want that guy, or maybe we can get that guy if he's still there. It's just not. It just wasn't that type of draft for us. And considering the last year we got absolute zero production from the entire draft. I mean, it was literally a wasted draft last year, and nobody's really talking about it. But it was a wasted draft. You know, I mean, if you heard the name Mozzie Smith, did you hear his name at all this year?
I don't even know who that is.
That was our first pick overall last year. Defensive tackle from Michigan.
Mhm.
His name don't sound familiar at all, right?
No,
You know,
not at all.
here we go with Micah Parsons and D Law, and we got the record return for interceptions for touchdown by the DB Deron Bland. I'm sorry, and this guy could not make a play. He couldn't even start. You know, so I hope this is not another year of that. I really do, but I don't have any kind of feeling on this draft, man. I'm just not excited. It's not an excited draft at all. You know,
Wow.
and I refuse to believe because we won 12 games three years in a row. The proof is in the pudding. What happened in the playoffs? You know, you can't think you're close when you get beat like that by that team at home. You got all your ducks lined up just the way you need to. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Everything is lined up for you to proceed, and you lose bad. I mean, you don't even come close. You're down 27-0 in the first half. Cannot think that you're close enough that you can have a mediocre draft. And right now, I'm telling you, I mean, I'm gonna have to look these players up. Like I do this every year. When we get our players, I'll go run down, I'll get video clips. I want to see these guys play in action, see what they look like. And to be honest with you, like last year, I said Mozzie Smith, that's our first pick again, because you haven't heard his name.
Never heard his name.
Never heard his name. Exactly. I
Was
saw
he
his
in contention for rookie of the year?
No. The worst rookie of the year.
Eh.
That's what he's in contention for.
Eh.
Uh, he when I saw him last year and I looked at his stuff, now I will say this: I did know who he was per se, but I wasn't impressed that we got him because I looked at his film and he was getting washed a lot. He was getting, for him to be that big, a 300-pound tackle. you can't get moved out of there. You're big, so you don't get moved out of there. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and there were linemen just moving him down the field at times. I mean, he made some plays here and there, but they weren't consistent. And there was
Mm-hmm.
consistent times where I saw him getting washed, and it panned out during the season. That's why he couldn't start.
Mm.
You know, I'm hoping when I look through these people, I haven't looked yet. I haven't did a deep dive yet. I haven't had time, but I'm going deep dive on all these players, and I hope I'm not feeling the same thing I felt last year. I really, I really am, because
Well,
that draft turned out exactly how I thought it was going to turn out.
wow. Well,
You
I think the Saints are a a team that does really well during a draft. We always seem every year we always seem to have um, a draftee that comes out and really contributes to the team. You know what I'm saying? We had some good corners last year that played well. We had a good running back that spelled uh, Alvin Kamara a lot, who did a good
Mhm.
job with that. So I like our draft. The only thing, the Trevor Penning is a sore spot. He was drafted like 2 years ago as a right tackle. Part of the problem is I think the Saints play a lot of the players, a lot of these draftees out of position. So Trevor Penning was drafted as a right tackle out of a small school, and they want to play him at left tackle. It's
Mm.
like, what are you doing? And so, this always seems the problem. So now we drafted another offensive tackle, Talasay, from Oregon State, who I believe is a left tackle, but they're talking about playing him at right tackle. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Can you play people in their natural position? Maybe that's why they're struggling.
Right. Right.
So, but I like the pick. We needed a tackle. Ramczyk, his knees are really becoming an issue for him, and they're not sure if he's going to last much longer. He's our all-pro right tackle, who I think was a left tackle in college, but they put him at right tackle. But anyway,
Okay.
his career might be winding down because his knees are really becoming an issue for him. And Trevor Penning, who was drafted like 2 years ago, who they've been using at left tackle, really has been struggling. So hopefully he'll be able to play better. And then now we're going to put Talasay at one of the other tackles, and we'll solidify both of those positions because we're going to need to protect Derek Carr. Although I'm not a fan of Derek Carr, but we got to protect him so we can get the best out of him. But that's who we took with the 14th pick in the first round. In the second round, we took Kool-Aid McKinstry. I don't know if you heard of this guy, but he's defensive back out of Alabama.
Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Yeah, but I
No,
think he
never
was
heard of him.
injured a lot last year, so that's probably why we didn't see him much. But
Okay.
I think Dennis Allen does a really good job of drafting corners, defensive backs. He's pretty good about drafting defensive backs. We seem to hit with defensive backs every year, and I
Okay.
think this might be a signal that our top defensive back, Marshawn Lattimore, could be getting traded.
Ah.
Yeah, I think this is a signal because we got some young talent at the defensive back position. We
Right.
already got we got three good defensive backs, and Marshawn Lattimore is getting paid, like a max salary, and seems to get injured every year as our top back. But when he plays, he's productive. I would love to keep him, but I think this signing of Kool-Aid McKinstry is a signal that he might be out the door with a trade. So we'll see about that.
McKinstry.
Yeah, Kool-Aid McKinstry, man. You have to look him up, man. But it got good size, good, big, strong defensive back. So not sure if he's a inside one that covers the slot receivers. Usually those guys are shorter and faster, and your bigger defensive backs are on the outside. So not exactly sure where he's going to fit in, but we'll see. And the most interesting pick that we had was in the 5th round when we took Spencer Rattler with the 150 pick.
Oh, you guys got him.
Yes, from South
Okay.
Carolina.
Yeah,
Yes,
I saw he was drafted. He used to play at Oklahoma, right?
Oklahoma. He had
Yeah.
that one good season at Oklahoma and completely fell off.
Yep.
I
Yep.
was like, I was really down on him. I was really down on him. He has all of the tools and all of the measurables that says that he could be a really good quarterback. Matter of fact, I think remember that one good season he had Oklahoma, and like the next season they had him projected as like a top quarterback going into the following draft. And dude completely fell off. And I think Caleb Williams replaced him at Oklahoma that year because he had played so poorly. Yes, he did. Caleb Williams replaced him that year.
Wow.
Yeah, because I remember the game. I was watching the game. He was doing so badly in. I think it was against.
Oh yeah, you know what? That is correct. I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
it was
That.
against Kansas or Kansas State.
That's right. That's right. He was there too. Yep. Caleb
Yeah,
Williams was still there in Oklahoma.
he was with Lincoln Riley before
That's
Lincoln
right.
Riley went to USC. So.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what happens with this kid. I mean, yeah, I mean, right now, I don't like our backup quarterbacks. We got Nate Peterman. You remember that guy?
Yeah, I remember him.
5 interceptions in the first half.
Right.
When he played for Buffalo. So, that's hard to let go. So,
wow.
I'm rooting for you, Spencer. So,
yeah.
But I think we were able to get a lot of our needs. We were able to target some players. Look like these players may have been high on the draft. I don't know about Tyler Say. I don't know if he was tops on the draft, but there was some offensive tackles. I'm sure the Saints had higher than him, but he still was a good pick, a good solid offensive tackle taken in the first round by the Saints. So I'm happy with the picks. I'm curious to know, what do you think about the Falcons pick? We're taking Michael Penix Jr. with the 10th pick overall when they already have Kirk Cousins on a $180 million deal.
It was the 8th pick.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because Minnesota had the 10th pick. They took JJ McCarthy.
That's right.
Wow. Well, what can I say? That was one of those right. That was the first moment of the draft.
Right.
At the bar, I was watching the draft at. And and at the time I wasn't necessarily looking at the screen. But when as soon as I looked up, I saw Penix. And I didn't even see the team that picked him. I just saw that Michael Penix got picked up. And everybody was like, oh, and I was like, who the hell picked him? And I looked at, and it was the Atlanta Falcons. I will say this, right? He's definitely talented, right? He's definitely talented. He turned his career around from when he was at Indiana and turned himself into a top 3 quarterback in the country. I mean, he did play his ass off when he was in Washington. No doubt. They ran like a spread type offense. They threw down the field. It was real close to like an NFL style offense. And though I like it, I'm just kind of scratching my head because you just paid Kirk Cousins all his money. Now, depending on how that contract was structured and if they could get out. Now, I don't know the details of it, but right now you kind of, you can't move forward with your quarterback because you have to play Kirk Cousins, right? You can't not play Kirk Cousins, even if Penix comes in and he lights it up. Can you put Kirk Cousins on the bench with that kind of salary?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
At least not the first year.
You're right. Bare minimum for the first year, but that's the thing. If you sit them down, you still got, like I said, depending on how the deal is structured.
Well, my understanding, the deal is really just a 2-year deal.
It's a 2-year deal, and that's what I thought. I thought it was probably a 2-year deal because he's getting out of that 180, isn't like 120 guaranteed, 130
something guaranteed? In that somewhere in that range. I think it's more like 100 million is guaranteed of the 180.
Right.
So that's like 50 million for first and second year.
Right. So he'll get front loaded contract.
Yeah.
And he'll and they'll be able to spread some of that money, depending on if they converted all the bonus or do it all, all the tricks that they do, all the cap tricks that they do.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, I like the pick. I wasn't, as far as the player, people saying they should have got him later. They could have waited and got him later. They could have traded down.
Well, that's my only issue.
If that's the guy you want, you got to get him right there.
Right. But the problem with the pick is And I think I get the logic of making that pick, even though it's the Falcons. I get the logic, right? Like they've been having quarterback problems for years.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got two options. One of them going to pan out, right? Whether it's Kirk Cousins or Penix, somebody's going to pan out. Right. So it's like, that's when I'm like, if it was Kirk Cousins, I'm like, oh, well, shoot, he's old. He's going to retire soon. Well, now they got somebody to replace him. The only problem with it is Penix he's like 24. He'll be turning 25 this year. Like he's an older rookie coming into the league. So it's not like he got a lot of time, where he can sit on the bench. Like if he was 22 or 21, he sit on the bench, learn from Kirk, for a year or two, and then he comes in. He's an older player coming in, an older rookie coming in. It's not like Patrick Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes right now might be 26, 27. So, so he's still a young guy and he's set for a year. So that's the only thing about it. Was like Michael Penix, he's an older.
But I don't think you really had to worry about that with quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are playing into late 30s now.
40s or something. Yeah, they'll play their 40 years old.
If they're good,
they're
playing to the late 30s, early 40s.
Yeah.
Easy. Tom Brady. What did he win? Did he win the Super Bowl at 44?
Who? Tom Brady? Yeah. He's like 43, 44, something like that.
Yeah, man. So, I wouldn't worry too much about his age, like being like, oh, like you're gonna miss some years or something, but that might work for you because he might come out more mature.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's a more mature player from the beginning. There's less learning curve for him because he is more mature. Maybe, but
maybe so.
Only thing I'm worried with him is his previous injury history.
Right.
Right. He's had issues with that knee. I think he actually hurt it twice, right?
Yeah, he did. He was at Indiana before he went to Washington.
Yeah, that's right.
And he had season-ending injuries.
Yes, and it was that knee, and I think he hurt it twice. So and they already tell you, once you tear the ACL the first time, it's very susceptible again to get torn again.
Right.
And he tore it twice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The same knee. So that's the only issue that I have with him. But hey, he went 2 years in Washington basically healthy. I mean, he got nicked up in the championship game for sure, but he went through them whole 2 seasons pretty much healthy.
Yeah, he did. And I think the NFL is probably going to do a better job, keeping him upright, making sure he's healthy throughout the season and stuff like that. So,
there'll be some more rules. You know that?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You won't be able to touch the quarterback.
Right.
Eventually, they're gonna put flags on them.
Right. Or they got a permission slip in their back pocket. You got to sign to tackle them. You know what I'm saying? You got to give them permission. You know what I'm saying? To sign and get it notarized.
Right.
Yeah. And I think once Caleb get hurt, because I'm worried about him. Only reason I'm worried about Caleb is because he held on to the ball for so long. He got away with it for so long in college, and he's not gonna be able to get away with that in the pros.
Man, I think Caleb's gonna be fine in Chicago, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It ain't just his talent. It's just like I said, the way he played football. You can get away with that in college. You know what I'm saying? But in NFL, a lot faster players, the linemen gonna get there a lot quicker than they did.
I think Caleb is probably going to have a CJ Stroud type season in Chicago.
You think so?
I think Chicago might even make the playoffs this year.
I don't know about that one, homie.
Minnesota is not going to be good.
That's true.
Minnesota's not going to be good. Green Bay, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence with Green Bay. I got to see a little bit more because they started out pretty bad last season and they picked it up towards.
They ended well. Yeah,
they ended well. So I'm not sure if they're a good team. Detroit is going to be the challenge, but I think Chicago has a shot. They got a lot of really good players that help Caleb Williams along. He may not have to do too much. They got Swift at running back. They got Keenan. What's the guy from San Diego? Keenan Allen. Yeah, they got DJ Moore. So they got some talent there. So
yeah, And I didn't like that either, man. How they got all that talent
after Justin Fields.
after Justin Fields go, then you go get all that talent, man. What's up with
Right,
that, bro?
right. So
I know
yeah.
Justin Fields like, you mother. I can't believe y'all did that. Like, y'all really gonna go get all these receivers and running backs now?
Yeah, go load up after I leave. So
Right, right.
yeah,
Load
load
up
up
in
for the
the
rookie
draft
quarterback. Yeah. So
at the skill positions.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. And so I'm thinking they loading up. So I mean I think there's a good shot that Chicago could make the playoffs. And I mean he's not bad. I can look at Bryce Young and say, man, this kid's gonna have a hard time. This guy's tiny. He's gonna have a hard time.
Right. Well,
So
his main thing is the same thing I'm saying with Caleb is holding the ball too long. You get away with that in college. You can't do that in the pros. You got to find your
right,
man quick, get the ball out.
right.
And that really wasn't the strength of Caleb's game, not from what I saw. I mean, he's accurate. He got some gun on him. He can
Yeah.
use his legs when he want to. He has pocket presence where he runs around the pocket. He doesn't look to run first.
You know, yeah.
He'll move around the pocket to find a pass first.
Right.
But he does that so often, he gets away with so much that if that becomes his habit in the NFL, he's going to have problems.
Right. But I don't think that's going to be, the NFL is just a different animal, and they coach that out of you once you get on the roster. So I don't see him scrambling around like that. I mean, I see him more like, what's the Cardinals quarterback? What's his name? Daggett. Kyler Murray. Yeah, he kind of reminds me of Kyler Murray at times. The running around in circles and stuff like that, looking for open receivers, buying more time.
Yeah.
But I think his advantage is he's taller than Kyler Murray. He can see over the line.
Right.
And, he can make those on schedule throws, because that's what the NFL is all about. Being on schedule. If you call a slant,
and that's what
throw
I
the
mean.
slant.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
On the ball, on schedule, on time when it's supposed to be let go.
Yeah. And I think that's why Lamar Jackson has such a hard time at times. Because but he's a great athlete. He gets
away with it because he's an athlete.
He's a great athlete. He can get away with not being on schedule. But a lot of times being on schedule makes your job easier. You ain't got to work so hard. You ain't got to run so much.
Yep. You already got in your head. This happens, do this.
Yeah. Now
happens, do that.
Yeah. But if you need to work off schedule and you need to improvise, say like Patrick Mahomes had to do in the Super Bowl against the 49ers. The 49ers was on everything that they did. They had a great game plan defensively against the Chiefs. All right, Patrick Mahomes, okay, well, let's improvise here. Okay, you're going to give me the run? I'm going to take the run.
Right.
So they started to take what the defense was giving them, and that was smart. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I think him and Jaden Daniels were obviously the best two quarterbacks in this draft. We'll see how Jaden Daniels turns out in the Commanders in Washington. But there's just not much talent around him, so I don't expect much out of him. But I see Caleb Williams has a lot of talent around him. So I think they were the two best. I thought the other quarterbacks were a reach, except for Michael Penix. I think he was the best out of the other quarterbacks. Like, I don't believe in any of the other quarterbacks other than Penix, Jaden Daniels, and Caleb Williams.
I mean, what about no Bo Nix at all? Like,
I like Bo Nix. I like him. I like him better than the other ones. I do like him. Yeah, Bo Nix too. Yeah, I like him. It'd be interesting to see how he turns out at Denver.
Right.
Because Sean Payton's going to give you a lot of opportunities to stay on schedule. See, this is the thing about Sean Payton that made Drew Brees look so good. Any other quarterback that he took in after Brees or when Brees went down, right? You got to be a perfect fit for his offense. Like, this is why I keep telling him, Jameis Winston wasn't a good fit. Jameis Winston was a great deep throwing quarterback. The Saints offense under Sean Payton wasn't a deep throwing offense. If you look at Drew Brees, right? A good portion of his passes went to the running backs.
Yeah.
Short to intermediate passes to the running backs. choice routes to the running back, swing passes to Alvin Kamara, Darren Sproles, Pierre Thomas, Reggie Bush. They will swing passes, screen passes, choice routes. That was a big part of the Saints offense. That's why you couldn't key on the receivers, because the running backs will kill you.
Yeah.
And so if he fits that mold, I'm not sure how his short to intermediate game is. If he can excel at that part of the passing game, then he's going to excel in the Sean Payton's offense. Because Sean Payton utilizes his running backs in the passing game. So it'll be interesting. That's what I'm not sure about with Bo Nix. Bo Nix, when he was at Alabama, at Auburn, and then he went to Oregon, yeah, he seemed that Oregon offense seems to be highly relying on the OP run option passes.
Yeah, it's a
RPOs.
fast-paced. Yeah, it's a fast-paced, pace up type of offense.
Yes, it's a fast-paced RPOs.
Yep.
So I really couldn't gauge. Was he really that good, or was it just the offense catching the defense off guard a lot?
Well, when he came there, when he went there, I knew that would be a better for him. I didn't know he was going to look that good.
It was a good fit.
But Oregon just has an offense, and they have for years, that caters to the offense. I mean, to the quarterback. It's just like Oklahoma. Oklahoma, it's a reason why they had 3 first round, two number 1 overall picks, and
now they're third.
Yeah, you said what?
Oklahoma. Oh, that's right. Caleb Williams.
They only had 2 because they had Kyler Murray and Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield under the same coach. So this would be the third.
Then they also had Hurts. You know what I'm saying? Hurts went to Philly, but that was second round.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Remember, he went from Alabama, went there. Yeah. So any quarterback that goes there is going to cater to the quarterback, getting good numbers. You know what I'm saying? It's just a good good
quarterback system. Right.
Oregon does the same thing.
Yep. They make it easy on the quarterback. Yeah.
Yep. I mean, Marcus Mariota came from there.
Right.
You got your boy from San Diego came there. Justin Herbert came
from
there.
Yep.
So yeah. So now Bo Nix went there, and now he's been picked in the first round.
Right.
Yeah. So they have he went to a good system that worked out for him.
Right.
For sure. Because he was not looking like that at Auburn.
No, he wasn't. he surely was not. So that's why I was surprised how well he was playing until I watched Oregon play, and I was just like, oh man, they are truly blitzing your defense.
Yeah. Sometimes you just need to get some talent and coaching around a player to kind of get this full potential out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This is what you got to do sometimes. You just got to get that. If you get coaching around him, can tell him when he's doing stuff bad, and then get some players that can make some plays when he's not playing great. That kind of evens it all out, helps the quarterback do a lot better, man.
Right. Yeah.
A lot better.
Well, we'll see, man. The NFL season is on the way. What a great start to the upcoming season with the draft. I mean, a huge crowd of people in Detroit to watch that draft. That was truly amazing how many people are out there watching that. So I think the NFL is just such a great product. They really know how to draw people in. And I'm hearing that they're talking about setting things up with an 18-game season and pushing the Super Bowl back another week. And I think it'll fall the weekend before President's Day. So basically you get the Monday after the Super Bowl off like a holiday. So
I don't know if I like that, yo.
You don't know if you like that? I like that.
I don't like that. I don't want to have that on a weekend. I don't want not on a 4-day weekend. No.
You don't want the day off after the Super Bowl?
Not really. I mean, I want to say that for a whole nother weekend where I got just 4 days just to get, you know what I'm saying? Because Super Bowl is about 3 to 4 hours of you just watching TV.
Right.
As opposed to a 4-day weekend where you might actually be doing something fun.
I mean, saying,
wrong. Super Bowl is fun, but you ain't just sitting there watching TV.
But dude, if you throw a Super Bowl party, I'm gonna stay all night. I'm staying the whole time. Like if I gotta go to
just
work
can't remember
the
the
next
last
day,
time I did that. I can't remember the last time there was a Super Bowl party and I got
but
lit and I couldn't go home and I stayed there till 1 o'clock in the morning or
no,
something.
no, I'm just thinking about when we were going to the bar and we
Mhm.
watched the game, and it's a Sunday night game, and right after the game in, check please, because we gotta go. We gotta go to work the next day.
Right.
But if it's Sunday night and Monday is a holiday, I ain't gotta work. Shoot, hey man, let's order another round of wings. I think this would be huge for businesses and restaurants if the next day was a holiday, because more people will hang out, more people will spend more money. The people that's traveling to the Super Bowl will stay longer in those cities.
I mean, it's good for business. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's great for business. But I'm saying as a fan of football and if I want to be out and about, to do something, when I got a 4-day weekend, I kind of want to do something on that 4-day weekend, whether it's traveling, whether it's something, but I can't do that if that 4-day weekend got a Super Bowl on it on Sunday. Because wherever I am, I'm going to stop and watch the Super Bowl. And I've been like in other countries and a good game come on and I gotta go watch it. So now I gotta take out of my vacation to go watch that game.
Man,
It just what it is. I know I'm
yeah,
seeing.
you really
I don't
overthinking
wanna
this.
I don't want to blend them. I do not want to blend those together at
you,
all.
you really overthinking this, yo.
Oh yeah, I do not want to blend that
You
together.
don't
I do
want to
not
blend it.
put that on a 3-day weekend.
I,
No sir.
I I look forward to it. I think it's just the evolution of the game. It just makes sense once they get to 18 games, because they're going to go. They get in the 18 games. Just accept that
That's
everybody
what it's like. Yeah.
is going to 18 games,
Yeah, it is.
and they're going to set it up where the next day is going to be President's Day. Super Bowl will be that Sunday. You'll get the next day off. People have been demanding it for a while. It's going to happen. Get ready.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us again. We do this thing every week. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.
Holla.